It's a great day to crochet.
Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Rochelle and this is the WIP Window. This is WIP Window Wednesday, where I'm going to show you some of the things I've been working on. I also have some finished objects to show you. So let's get started. Okay, so the first few things that I have finished, we'll start with the finished objects. I had gotten a lot of these little lovey tops when they were on sale at the DMC website. I know Michaels carries these. This is what they look like. And the yarn, when you first feel of it and when you're working with it, it doesn't seem like it's the softest, but once you have it worked up and you wash it and dry it, it seems like it gets a little bit softer. So this is the little unicorn, and you can see that it has a little plastic circle. It kind of looks like the center of, whenever we had record players. Yes, I'm aging myself. This was the center of what you put in, it looks like anyway. It looks like what you put in the center of a record. But it's not actually the center of a record, it just looks like that. But anyway, this is the little unicorn, and all I did was make a granny square and just kept going around and around. And after I finished the last row, I figured I didn't have enough to go around in the double crochets, so I did 2 rounds of single crochet just to put a border on it. And I don't know if I could have gone around one more time, but this is how much yarn I had left. On the ball band, I guess you call it a ball band, there's a knit. This is a knit pattern, which I decided just to do crochet because it's a lot quicker. This is a pretty thin yarn. So you can see this is probably a 1, close to a 2, closer to a 1 maybe. But I really like the weight of it, and I think it's really good. It's also a little pacifier holder, so that's got the little Velcro on it. So I did the unicorn and I did a cat one. I did the cat one in, the unicorn one I used a size G hook, and the size G hook gives it a tighter stitch. And then on this one I used an H hook, so it's a lot looser. And on this one, this is how much yarn I had left over. They ended up to be about the same size, even though the G hook is smaller. The H hook might be a tad bit larger, but you can tell a difference in the looseness. I think the H hook made it a lot squishier since the stitches were looser. So it's pretty squishy. But I thought those turned out cute, and I'll just hang on to those and save them for gifts. Now I also had some of these top this. So this is the lovey tops, and then this is the top this. And the top this has different characters also. The yarn on the top this is heavier. On these ball bands, it doesn't tell you what weight of yarn it is, but I would say for the top this, it's a good worsted weight. Now this one, I had gotten quite a few of these because my son-in-law is a Packers fan. And these were also on sale for $2 on the DMC website, so I loaded up. But these are normally made into hats because it's a heavier yarn. And it also has different, it varies as you're working with the yarn. So part of the yarn is fuzzy, so the yellow is fuzzy. And then you can see that there's some that has all 3 colors, and then some that's just the green. But the yarn that's just the yellow is the fuzzy. This one is a lot heavier. I didn't put, these don't come with the plastic, the same plastic that's on the inside of these. These come with it's like a round piece of foam, and it has 2 holes in it. But I'd used it for something else, or something was wrong with it, and so I just tied it on so it doesn't have that foam in the middle. I think the foam and the little plastic things kind of help it stand straight up, but I made him some slippers for Christmas. And on the DMC website, they're kind of hard to find, but there are alternative or alternate patterns for the, I know there's alternative patterns for the top this. I'm not sure about the levy tops, but there are some slippers that you could, little house slippers that you can use to make with this, and they turned out really cute. So I used 2 of them, of course, to make the slippers, and then I had some yarn left over, and so what I did is I took a 3rd ball. So this is actually bigger than what it would turn out if it was just one of the top this balls of yarn, because this is what the ball of yarn looks like. I would say that this is almost 2, and it turned out to be pretty big. So if you were going to make a little lovey with the top this kit, it probably would turn out to be maybe close to the same size, maybe a little bit smaller, I'm not sure. But check out the DMC website, subscribe to them, their email list, because they have really good deals on these. They don't have many yarns, and their yarns are kind of expensive, but they put these on sale, and I think, I'm not sure if the football ones have been $2 for a long time, but I have a box that I ordered from the DMC website when they had a lot more of these that were $2, and I just stocked up on them because it was free shipping if you ordered $30 worth. And so I'm going to do an unboxing of what all I got when I have another shipment of yarn that I ordered. I don't know if you've been watching Reggie at J Hook Crochet. She's been doing quite a few lives pretty much every Saturday, and she gives a lot of great information. It's not just where, I mean, you can go on and socialize also, but she has a lot of really good information. She always has a topic. Last week's topic was different websites where you can get good deals on yarn, and so one of those websites, I went on there and I found some yarn that I wanted to try out, and the shipping is a lot cheaper than, say, Ice Yarns, for instance. And so, I mean, it's still expensive. It was $33 of shipping, but I want to say that I've done larger orders with Ice Yarns and paid probably almost $100 in shipping. It still makes the yarn inexpensive, but the shipping, if you can get it for $33 in that range, then you're going to get a lot better deal. And I'll be comparing the cost, the final cost of those yarns when I get them compared to Ice Yarns, because Reggie, she said, I don't order from Ice Yarns anymore just because the shipping to her in Germany, and you know, Turkey is right there in Europe, so it shouldn't be that much. It's not like she's overseas from Turkey like we are. But she's pretty much left Ice Yarns, and she's got quite a few other online suppliers that she orders from, and they look really good. A lot of the yarns are the exact same thing that you can get from Ice Yarns and Hobie, I think. So I'll have some links to those below, so check her video out though. I'm going to link her video that she did so that you can see all the different websites that you can go shop for yarn on. All right, so those are some finished objects that I got done, and those are really quick too. All right, so another finished object I have is a baby blanket that one of my daughter's friends asked me to make, and this is a paid pattern. Let me stand up and show it to you. So this is a paid pattern, and you can see at the bottom there's a little forest with a bear. And then we have some mountains, and in the mountains is a coyote, and we have the moon and stars, and this is a night sky. This is a paid pattern. I believe it was $4.99, and I will link this pattern below. It was very easy. She did a really good job of writing the pattern, especially for the bear and the coyote. I thought she did a really good job. It was very straightforward, very simple. There were a couple of places in there where she could have been a little bit clearer on chaining and where you started working your stitches, but being an experienced crocheter, I was able to figure that out. But anyway, that turned out really cute. This blanket is a little heavy because you hold it double stranded, and all of this yarn in here is the Soft and Sleek from Hobby Lobby. So I was able to go grab that when that was 30% off. You know, Hobby Lobby runs 30% off every other week. So, you know, if you need yarn and it's not on sale, wait till the next week and it will be. Even if you need just one skein, you can get a 40% off coupon online. That's always available. But hey, who only buys one skein of yarn? Not me. So that's another finished object, and I will be getting that either in the mail to her, or I will drive it up to my daughter because she lives near my daughter, and that way we can visit. So I've got some other finished objects that I started and did different variations of. I don't know if you've ever looked at the label of the Kobu yarn, but on the label you can see that it has a Knitted Knockers logo on there. And Knitted Knockers is a breast cancer prosthetic organization. And what they do is there's a knittedknockers.org website, and this is one of the yarns that's been approved for making the knitted knockers. And on their website, they have all the information you need to either knit or crochet the breast prosthetics. And it gives you all the information on how to donate them, send them in if you want to donate money to help with shipping. They ship all over the world to breast cancer survivors. And my grandmother had breast cancer, and I remember she was making her own prosthetic breast, and I remember watching her stuff it and sew it up. And I thought, you know, if I had known about any of this, I would have made her one of these. So I did do a couple of crochet and a couple of knitted. I started off with the crochet, and you can download a diagram of the different sizes. So I'm sorry, I started with the knit. So this is the first knitted knocker that I did with this Kobu yarn, and this Kobu yarn is the color mauve, and I just thought the design is really pretty. I went ahead and stuffed it. On their website, they say that they want you to send them in unstuffed because it makes the shipping a lot cheaper, because they are you know, it's expensive to ship overseas, and they ship them worldwide. So this is one of the knitted ones that I did in one size, and they give you the stitch count. Here's another knitted one I did in another size, and this one is made with the color, I think it's called Lichen, L-I-C-H-E-N. So I used that color for that one. This yarn is really soft, and because it's cotton and bamboo, it's breathable, and probably you won't get as sweaty as if you used other different fibers that aren't as breathable. So those are my knitted ones, and then they do have a crochet pattern. The crochet ones to me are not quite as pretty, but they're still functional. So here's one of the crochet ones. There's the back of it, and then here's another crochet one, and you can see at the end you tighten it up. So I went ahead and stuffed these. I kind of wanted to get an idea of the size of them. Now you can look, the crochet ones are a lot taller than the knitted ones. So I don't know, I almost think depending upon the woman and what size they need, they might need one that is high profile or not. So anyway, I thought these would be great to start making if you're looking for a charity to donate to throughout the year. So I've got these as my samples, and hey, if any of y'all out there are breast cancer survivors and you could use one of these, let me know. Okay, so I hope to continue to make some of those prosthetics throughout the year this year and to send them in to the Knitted Knockers. So those are my finished objects for now. I do have quite a few works in progress, but I'll only show you a few. So the first thing that I started working on recently is I got this yarn in a mystery box that I bought from Reggie at J Hook Crochet, and I thought whenever I was looking on one of the websites that she had shown in last week's live, this was one of the yarns that I saw on there, and so I thought I would work it up and see how it works. And so I started just making a little baby blanket because there's 2 skeins in there, and so here's how much yarn I've got. I probably used half of it so far, so I think having 2 skeins of this is going to be perfect for just a small baby blanket. I like how it's striping. This is the Kitty's brand yarn, and it's a DK. I don't know if it's Kitty's brand or if it's whatever that brand is right there. But this is 100% acrylic. It is a DK weight, and there are 292 meters in this skein. It's a soft yarn, and the colors in it are very pale, but really it's kind of neat that when you look at them in the skein, it doesn't look quite as bright, and then when you start to crochet with it, you can kind of see the colors come out. I am using a stitch from one of my stitch dictionaries where you do some single crochets and chains and double crochets, and then you go back and double crochet in one of the stitches that you skipped. But if I find that stitch pattern on a website that's free, I'll link it below. I don't know if it's one of those things where, you know, this stitch is copyrighted, but I would imagine it's probably not copyrighted. It's just one of those books that someone has compiled all the stitches, but it's in a stitch dictionary, and it's turning out to be a pretty squishy stitch. So I really like it, and I'm hoping I can finish that little baby blanket and put it with my little loveys on the side and have for whenever I need a baby gift. Okay, so another thing I've been working on is I dyed some yarn, and I'm going to put some pictures in and kind of explain what I did because I wanted to create a striped yarn for some socks, and this was really a lot more work than I bargained for.
So I knew I needed to make my hank a lot bigger so I could make the area that I was dyeing a lot longer. I wanted the stripes to be a lot longer than just the normal size hanks when you're dyeing yarn. So I set up a bar stool and a couple of my chairs from my dining table, and I started to wrap and wrap and wrap. I knew I wanted the tan to be a lot longer than the burgundy and the black and white areas. So you can see the different sizes of the areas that I dyed, alternating the black, and the white is just the natural color of the yarn. After the yarn dried, I put it back on my chairs and my dining chair, and I started to make it into a ball. And I didn't just want to leave it into a ball because I like working from a cake. So I took the ball to my winder and I wound the ball into a cake. And I thought the cake turned out really pretty. You can see the stellina that's in there that gives it that sparkle.
So I got started on one of my socks, and this is how much I've got done so far. Actually, I had more of it done. I was almost finished, and I put it on, and I didn't like the way the heel fit. I had done the sweet tomato heel, but I don't think I had knitted quite far enough up my foot, up the sock, to fit my foot before I started the heel. So I pulled all of it out. There's all the yarn that I had to pull out. Here's the rest of my cake. But I decided to add a few more rows. Now on this sock, I did the Judy's Magic cast on with 10 stitches. I did my increase, and I increased until I had 56, is that right? 56? I think it was till I had 56 stitches around, because my foot's pretty skinny. And so if I had done, you know, one of the normal stitch counts, it probably would have been too loose. But as I'm going along, and this is the underside, I decided I wanted to do some ribbing on the bottom so that it would hug my arch a little bit. And so that's what I've done. I've got all of my stitches written of how I've done this, because it's almost like I'm writing my own pattern. And then I think I have enough rows now that, and see, after I did my ribbing, I just did some rows without ribbing, and I'll do the Sweet Tomato heel again. If you knit socks and you have found that you like one heel over the other, leave me a comment. I haven't really done a whole lot of different heels. I know that there's one video I watched where it was called the Fish Lips Kiss heel, so I'm kind of interested in that. I tried an Afterthought heel, but I don't know if it was too pointy. So I don't know, I might try that one again at some point. But for this one, I'm going to just do the Sweet Tomato heel. And then from what I understand is you make, like however much I've done here, once you do your heel, then you continue to knit about the same length. So like, you know, when you fold the sock in half, it's about the same length from your foot as it is up your leg. So that's the sock that I plan on doing. I really like how the striping has turned out. I didn't know whenever I was dyeing the yarn how far around each stripe would go, but it doesn't go all the way around. Here you can kind of see right here on that little burgundy stripe, it's just a few stitches short of making it all the way around. I think if I would have strung the yarn around my chairs a little bit further and made the hank of yarn a lot bigger, then my striping would go all the way around. But you know what? I don't know if I'm going to ever do that again, because that was a lot of work. That took me pretty much, I mean, I wasn't busy on it all day, but I started it that morning, and by the time the yarn dried, and I kind of had my heater, my little space heater in the room, in the bathroom with it, and so that helped dry it out a lot quicker. But it was pretty much 12 hours from the morning that I started until the end of the day when I caked it up. But I'm happy with how it turned out. I think that the colors are, well, I started thinking it was kind of a Burberry, is that how you say it, Burberry, that brand? They use a lot of black and tan and like either maroon or red, so those kind of colorways. So I thought that was kind of the inspiration for this colorway. So that's my first sock, and I'll be doing another one to match. So another thing that I was commissioned to do is to repair a blanket, and this blanket is who knows how old. It's very sentimental to my boss, and so she asked if I could possibly fix it for her. And so this didn't just come unraveled in one place. I'm going to hold it up this way so you can see. So it's got a few rows that came unraveled in between there. So I'm trying to decide if I should take this off and then just try to connect it, or if I should try to find some yarn, because this, like I said, I don't know how old this yarn is, and the blue has kind of a shine to it, and I don't know if I would be able to find any yarn that would work. But I'm kind of thinking, I don't know, let me know what you think, if you've ever repaired any blankets like this, if you think it would be better just to cut this and join it and repair it that way, because you can see that blue, that would match up, and then I wouldn't really have to do a ton of work, and I think it would maybe make it more cohesive. So tell me what you think if you are an expert at repairing blankets like this and what you think would work best. I would love to hear your opinions. Another thing that I've been working on is a gift for a friend, and she doesn't watch my channel. She doesn't even know I have it, I don't think. I've been making her some mug rugs, and I've been using the Fireworks yarn, and so far I have 3 of them done, and I do have a tutorial on this mug rug. I'm going to be making her just a set of 4, so I'm crocheting all 4 of them first, and then I'll go back and I'll add all the fringe onto it, because the fringe is what makes it so cute. I have one back here that I was using. This is the one I actually made in the tutorial with the fringe on it, but they look so cute. And look at this, just the colors with my little coffee mug. Isn't that cute? It matches perfectly. That Fireworks yarn is a really great yarn to use for these mug rugs because, number one, it's got a very short color change, and so you get all those spotted colors everywhere. And another thing is the yarn is about a 3-weight yarn, so it's a nice thickness. It's not too squishy because, you know, like this cup doesn't have a very big base. If you have a bigger base, then it's not that much of a problem, but you don't want your mug rug to be too thick and kind of topple over your coffee cup or your glass or whatever you have on it. So I'll link that tutorial if you are interested in learning how to make these mug rugs. So there's a couple of make-alongs that I'm going to participate in. One of them is Judy at Witchpeace. She is doing a make-along with Birthstone colors, and you can pretty much make whatever you want. She'll give you the 3 different facets of that month's Birthstone, and you pick which color you want. And so January's Birthstone is the garnet, and so she gave the 3 different facet colors. And so I went through my stash because I'm going to try to make this a stash buster, because I have, you know, quite a bit of yarn, and I do have quite a bit of Karen's Simply Soft yarn that would probably work, and it's readily available if I need to go grab a skein or 2. But this is a garnet color that I'm going to use for January. I'm going to link her video below so that if you're interested in seeing what this make-along is all about, you can go watch her video. I think it's a really neat idea, and you're not just tied into one type of project. You get to pick whatever project you want. So I'll leave her video linked below. And then also Reggie at J Hook Crochet is having a vest make-along, and so I'm going to link her video also. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do on that one, but when I do, I'll get on and I'll show you. This year in 2021, I try not to make resolutions. I'm not really good at making resolutions because I'm kind of one of those people that, you know, I kind of just want to do what I want to do at the moment. And I do have goals in life, but with crochet, you know, it's kind of one of those things where you just kind of work on what you feel like working on, unless you have to make a gift or someone asks you to make something. But for 2021, and definitely having a YouTube channel kind of helps you stay on track. But I want to do more tutorials. I want to do my WIP Window Wednesdays every week so that you can see what's going on, what I'm making. I want to write some more of my own patterns. Of course, I want to do more storybook blankets. I do have one in the works for January. So I'm going to try to do 1 storybook blanket per month, and that will make it a little bit more manageable. And just, you know, participate in more live sessions and just kind of do some collaborations. I know Petra at Petra's Happy Place, she and I are going to try to get some collaborations going. I'm open to some yarn swaps if anyone is interested in that. And, you know, just grow my channel and then help others grow their channel too, because in this crochet community, everyone is really good about supporting each other. A lot of us have Etsy shops. I don't really have much in my shop right now, but I plan on putting more in my shop. I know I've bought some necklaces from Tracy at I Love Loopy. I bought a mystery yarn box from Reggie at J Hook Crochet. And so I need to get out there and see who else has an Etsy shop. And if you have an Etsy shop, let me know in the comments down below. I'd like to see what you make, and I might just buy something. So thanks for stopping by. If you have not subscribed to my channel, I would appreciate it if you would, and give me a thumbs up. And hopefully in 2021, we will have a happy and prosperous year. Hopefully we will get rid of this COVID. We're so tired of the lockdowns and all the restrictions that we have, but we're making it. And a lot of us have gotten the virus and we've survived. And so we thank God for that. So hopefully I will see you in the future. Take care and stay safe.